Stay tuned if you're interested in this free marketplace flip. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Destiny and I love to upcycle furniture. We're starting with this mid-century modern dresser that looks like it wants to throw itself into the landfill. The top is extremely beat up. Someone wrote their doctor's appointment on the corner of the top. It's chipped and it looks like it might have a little bit of water damage, but we're going to give this dresser some love and we'll see what happens next. Let's get to work. As you can see, every one of these slides are broken, so we're going to go ahead and start here. Using my triangle ruler, I'm lining up along the front of the dresser and the slide, and this will make sure that it's perfectly straight. And then I'm just using my brad nailer to secure it. Next, I'm going to fix this peeling veneer by gluing it and then clamping it down. I just want to take a quick second and give a shout out to all of my new subscribers. I am blown away. I am so happy to have you and I'm so excited. So thank you for all of your support. While my repairs are setting up, I'm breaking out this citrus strip and applying it to the top drawer. I want to stain this along with the top later on in the video. While the stripper is doing its job, I'm going to sand the drawers down to make them smooth. I'm going to start with a 120 and then a 220. After I was done sanding, it was time to start scraping off the citrus strip. This stuff is ready to go in about 30 minutes, so I'm just using my metal scraper, and I suggest if you're a beginner to use a plastic because it's very easy to gouge your wood. After my drawers were dry, I was ready to start sanding them. I'm using a 220 grit because the veneer is super thin and I want to make sure to be very careful so I don't blow through it. And I'm going to pay extra attention to the corners and the edges. I really wanted to try to stain this top, but it was a lot worse than I thought. So I finished sanding the top smooth to possibly get it ready to be painted. I was doing a little research and I found that making a paste with Barkeeper's Friends and water would remove the dark spots, and it worked. But note to future self, if you try this method, it ever so slightly bleaches the wood and you'll need to apply it to the entire surface. I should probably add that I am not a professional and I am sure there is a better way to remove the stain, but I have nothing to lose. This was a free piece, therefore it's a learning piece, so I'm using what I have around the house. After removing the stains, I figured this would be a really good time to finish making the repairs on the top since I have a little bit more sanding to do anyway. I'm taking wood filler and I'm mixing it with my stain so that I can just fill those areas in on the top. I'm using Zinsser 123 primer. This is really good for blocking tannins. It's really good for your paint sticking, otherwise it might peel in the future, and it helps seal any patchwork you did with wood filler. This color is called Cracked Pepper. You can pause to read the paint code. I recently got a paint sprayer and I'm not too sure why I decided to hand paint this. I guess I was feeling a little bit nostalgic. A few hours later, my first coat of paint was dry, so I went over it with a 400 grit sandpaper just to knock down any texture on the surface and painted my second coat. Now I'm staining this top drawer. I'm using an oil-based stain. It's called Early American, and I personally like oil-based stain better than water-based because I feel like the color is more rich. The Early American stain alone wasn't quite doing it for me, so I added some of this true brown and I got this beautiful chocolatey color. And I knew that I wanted to keep the hardware, so I cleaned it up and I put a coat of black spray paint on it. Before I start painting on my top coat, I like to go over it with a 400 grit sandpaper just to make sure that there's no texture and my paint is smooth. Because I use an oil-based stain, I like to use an oil-based top coat, and this stuff is so easy to use. You literally just wipe it on and you let it dry and you go back and you sand it down and then you add another coat. And this is where it started to go very wrong. Do you remember that paste I made earlier in the video with Barkeeper's Friend and water? Well, when I added the Wipe On Poly, I started to notice the outline of where the paste was. So at this point, I don't know how to fix this or if it even is fixable. So I'm pretty sure my only other option is to paint. After thinking about it for a while, instead of painting the entire top, I decided I was going to use some painter's tape and tape off a cool design, so that way all of the staining wasn't for nothing. After letting the paint dry overnight, I used a 400 grit sandpaper to smooth out the design. I'm using Minwax polyacrylic top coat. This is water-based, but my stain has been dry for days, so it is safe to use. And here's one last look of the before, just in case you forgot. And here's the after. I am pretty proud of this one. I just love a paint and stain combo. If I've earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like the video. It helps small channels like mine grow. Thank you so much. See you in the next flip. Bye.